Were there stories where you felt, oh my God, he's Gurudev, and it's it's miracle, or something like Siddhi, or
Yeah, there was a time when I was driving. He wasn't around, but he was. I was driving on the road from Lake Tahoe down to Sacramento area, and it's a very dark road in the middle of the night. It's very, very dark. And there was I was on my way to lead a satsang actually. And all of a sudden I'm driving at 75 miles an hour and a deer is right in front of the car. So somehow a deer had jumped out in front of the car, and it was a big deer. I mean, it probably weighed 200 or 300 pounds. And normally if someone hits a deer going 75 miles an hour full on, I mean, it's like the whole car is, you could be killed easily in that situation. Somehow the deer was there. I saw it in front of the car, but it just sort of flew away. Like it went away. I don't know how. And I was, of course, in shock because I could have easily been killed in that situation. And all of a sudden, this thought comes in my mind. Like I was thinking I should stop or do something. This thought comes, oh, you're already late for satsang. Just keep going. It's okay. The deer's okay. You're okay. The car's okay. Everything's okay. Just keep driving. That was the thought that came in. And so that was to me, it was like a sort of a miracle. Like, how does this giant deer end up not smashing up? And then when I went out to see the car, when I arrived, there was a little bit of like the hood was a little bit pushed up a little bit so that I would know that it actually happened. And that was a moment where I felt that somehow some force had taken care of me and saved my life in that moment.
Bill Herman in 1991 and Bill Herman in 2020. What changed? So we all face ups and downs in our life. Were there time in your life where you felt that faith is shaken?
Where I was shaken? What was
the faith, the devotion. So we all are grateful for this feeling of devotion, this feeling of love, this feeling of feeling security because having Guru in our life. Were there a time when the faith was shaken, but it was again re-established?
Part of the enjoyment of life or the drama of life is that we have ups and downs. And I've thought about this question, does enlightenment mean always being happy? And I came up with the answer, no, I'm not always happy. There's moments where I feel frustrated. There's moments where I feel, I get discouraged. There's moments where I feel all of the normal human emotions. And I think that's part of life. And I've embraced those emotions rather than resisting them or trying to get away from them. I just allow myself to experience whatever frustration or angst comes up. I mean, to me, that's part of life. And Art of Living is about accepting all those different layers of life and being with them rather than thinking I shouldn't be this or I shouldn't feel this way or that way. No, I'm a full-on human being. I've accepted all the layers of emotion, and if that makes any sense.
Yeah. So there are so many teachers and volunteers who are watching it now. Maybe after a few years, also they will watch this video, who are on the path and who are just getting that sense of devotion. What is your learning that you would like to share with them?
I don't I feel like I've been very lucky. And I think one of the things that has accompanied that luck is my intention to serve. That in the moments, one of the lessons that I've learned from Guruji is that in the moments when my intention is to serve and not just think about myself, but do what I can for others, in those moments, I feel like those are the moments that I've been really flooded with grace. Or that's where this connection began from out of those moments. And for me to serve, I've had these spontaneous just feelings that I want to do something. I want to be useful. And being useful is really, in a sense, Guruji's purpose. Like, he's so useful in the world because he's given so many people empowerment and knowledge and given them what they need in order to be happy and fulfilled human beings. And I've had a chance to see this firsthand. And if I can do something like that with my life, I'll have to tell you one more little story. I went through an experience called the eternity process, which is one of the processes that we do in Art of Living, where you get to go back into your past and see some experiences from perhaps past lives. And during one of these experiences, I've done the process a few times, and during one of them, all of a sudden, it became absolutely clear to me what the purpose of my life was. And I started sobbing, which I've done. I've spent many hours sobbing in where the heart is just so expanded with so much gratitude, feeling like you're flooded with grace, where you can't describe that. It's beyond words, where you're just exploding with some kind of, like, how do you put those things in words? But this started happening to me in this moment. It was like the purpose. I knew the purpose of my life. It was absolutely clear. And the purpose of my life was very simple. I could put it in one short sentence. The purpose of my life is to be here for others. It's just to be here for others. I'm alive. That's it. Simple. Like, it was so clear. I can't even get back to that place, in a sense. It was such a powerful moment. And I literally, in that time, I was just sobbing and crying. And the facilitator thought that I probably thought I was suffering or something, because she got a little scared because I was so intensely sobbing. But I felt so grateful. It was absolutely the opposite. And she ended up bringing me out of the process. And it was just remarkable. I mean, I know the purpose of my life, and I never will forget it. So I guess, in a sense, that's a story that I could tell but it was a gift. It was a gift that was given to me, and it came out of, I don't know where. And so just to be open to these gifts, just to open the heart and let yourself, I don't know. I feel very lucky to be able to have received all of the gifts that I've been given, and they come and they go, and you have an experience, and then you're so deep in living in such a state of perfection of consciousness in those moments. What Guruji talks about devotion in the Bhakti Sutras, and we just finished the series recently, and he's doing his best to describe the completeness that is there. And it's like, when you have those experiences, you're so lucky. Like, there's an old story that Swami Brahmananda Saraswati, or the way I understood it was, he had this saying that as a human being, for us to live life without experiencing the highest is like selling a pound of diamonds for the price of a pound of spinach. So it's like we have such an amazing wealth and richness inside ourselves as a human being. And to be able to not fulfill that and not experience that is a horribly sad thing. And I feel very lucky in that I've been given these experiences. So I don't know what to say. Serve. Yeah. The purpose of life is for others. I wouldn't pretend to tell anybody else what the purpose of their life is, but I could certainly tell you what mine is. It's very clear.
Bill, what is Gurudev for you?
I don't know that there's any words that could put on that. He's given me this wealth, in a sense. The wealth is here. He's somehow turned the key to allow me to experience it. And he's given me these opportunities and these little stories I'm telling me, handing me a spoon to give the children some crumpled up laddu, which turned into an experience where I realized that, yes, there's a lot of poor people in the world that need something more, and that's what he's there to do. He's a model for me. He's a role model. He's modeled the highest thing that a person can do with their life, which is to serve, which is to be there for others, and to do it to the best of your ability. I have this. I feel like I'm not him. You know, there's certain things that he does and certain behaviors and certain ways that he is that are absolutely him. And there's certain things that I mean, we're in different bodies. We have different egos. We have different intellects and we were given different roles to play in this life. But I do my best just to be me. And I'm going to start sounding like Frank Sinatra, but basically, you know, and somehow I found a way to do that, to live myself to project myself in the way that's totally true to me and be natural in my own skin. And he's modeled that for me. But he doesn't expect me to be like him. He knows that I'm a little bit quirky and I have my own, you know, I have a little paint on my hand here because I go out in the woods and paint, and he loves that about me. And so he's just, I don't know, I could probably keep talking like this for about an hour or two, but he's given me the highest gift that he could give another human being. And for me to be able to also do that for others, I've seen it done. I've seen a model for this. Someone who can just empower and just bring love and light into people's lives. If I can do that, even 1/100th of what he does, then the purpose of my life has been served.
Wow. If Gurudev is there in front of you right now in his physical form, how would you like to express your love and this gratitude towards him?
Just cry at his feet. I don't know. I think I think that him seeing my smile is enough. I think that that's what makes him happy, when he knows that he's allowed us to express our smile in the highest way that we can. Yeah. I had a experience this morning where I was leading a panel discussion with five educational leaders and a research fellow from Stanford University. And it was a huge stretch for me. I've never done anything like that. And he was there on the panel. And we ended up spending an hour, and it was only supposed to be half an hour. And I was just so grateful, and to be able to play a role like that, and somehow, we're in the process of bringing this to thousands, hundreds of thousands, and millions of kids in various countries. And I mean, I'm so grateful for this, for having been empowered to do this. Not once has he like micromanaged me or said, he's just said, yes, go ahead. And so it's such a gift to be able to give that empowerment to someone. So how could I be anything but just enormously grateful? And the words can't really touch it. So.
Thank you, Bill. It was wonderful listening to all your stories, your journey on the path. We got to learn so much, and it felt like the way you were telling stories, it felt like we also went through that path and had those beautiful moments with Gurudev and had so much of learning with you. Thank you, Bill. Thanks a lot for your time.
My
Jai
pleasure.
Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.